what's up, guys? It's Film Fam back with another podcast. I'm Darby.
I'm
I'm
Austin.
Blaze. Oh, I'm Blaze.
I'm Justin.
And this week's topic, all about superheroes. So this should be a good one.
So, who all's a Marvel fan? Let's get that out of the way first.
I cried at the end of Endgame.
I think everyone did. It wasn't even like I was that sad. I was just like, yeah, I'm emotionally complete now. I'm good.
That's
Yeah.
funny. Anytime I still watch that final scene when it's just a splash page of them all.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
so dope.
Yeah.
That was like just the coolest thing I've seen in any movie ever.
Yeah.
It's definitely up there. It's just such an epic conclusion, and it's Rocio's joining us.
Ooh.
Hey, Rocio.
How's it going?
Good. Just got a class.
Cool.
Nice.
Welcome. We're talking about superheroes.
So,
What's everyone's favorite Marvel movie?
probably Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Infinity
Okay, yeah.
War and Endgame are definitely my favorite, but like not including those. I think Far From Home, or just the Spider-Man Homecoming.
I really enjoyed Iron Man 3 for some reason.
Iron Man 3 is my favorite Iron Man.
Because that's when he meets
Stand up.
Harley, the little kid.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
He
then
actually gets character development and becomes likable.
yeah, and Pepper gets superpowers, but then they're taken away from her.
Yeah. So all the comic book people hated it because it didn't follow the comics very closely in terms of the characters. But it's like a really good movie.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
Like the end fighting scene where there's all the different like prototypes of the suits fighting. I loved that.
And like the Mandarin wasn't like the same in that. But he's coming in the new movie, like Shang-Chi in the Seven Rings.
10 rings.
10 rings, I'm sorry.
Count them.
But like, I didn't care if it wasn't like really him because it was just a good movie.
It was just good. I don't know. People just need something to complain about sometimes. I don't know.
That's fair.
How about you,
Yeah.
Justin? What's your Marvel movie?
Favorite Marvel, like I just my dad was very big into Spider-Man, so like growing up, like so I was born in 01. The original Spider-Man came out 02, so I was basically like that was like my first ever Marvel movie that I've ever seen. And yeah, I love the original.
Yeah, I remember we had like the big case of illegally burnt DVDs in our house, and we had all 3 Spider-Man movies, and we would just watch them back to back. That was like we would do that on weekends. It was the best. How
I
about you,
watched the
Rocio?
second one so much.
I love the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I can watch them forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you were to like critically like break each of them down, I think the Guardians movies are probably the best. Like
They're the most aesthetically pleasing to me.
yeah, they're also just incredibly well directed and written, and just
Yeah,
they're
James
just really
Gunn
good.
is a good director.
Yeah, he's great. I'm so excited for Suicide Squad.
Yes, same.
I feel the exact opposite about this Suicide Squad as I did about the one that came out earlier.
That's fair.
The one that came out, I saw that 4 times in theaters. I kind of liked it.
Can I kick someone from this?
I
Yeah, I
think you
wasn't
can.
really a huge fan of that Suicide Squad. I kind of got overhyped with the trailers.
Yeah,
I just didn't pan out for me
Yeah.
at least.
I was working at the theater when it came out, and my one coworker went to go see it, and she loved it so much. She's like, "You got to go see it. It's so good." And I was like, "Okay, like I'll take your word for it." And I've never been more angry at someone after.
my sister loved it, and she made me buy her the DVD,
Ugh.
and then we watched together. And I was like, "This is a piece of trash. Like this is like."
Like
This
I
is
got the
straight
movie
up
for
garbage.
free
And
from,
it's not
working there.
Like there's like little like pieces of it are really good. Like the
Like the
performances in it
backstories.
are fine. Like the
Yeah.
like if you just look at each individual song, it's okay. But there's just no cohesion whatsoever.
Yeah,
Like
the
at
actual
all.
plot of the movie was subpar, but I liked the backstories and seeing the new characters.
Yeah, That's
And
why
I
I
love
think this.
Margot Robbie.
That's why I think this one will be good because they made the really good choice of picking a bunch of no names, like a bunch of like Polka Dot Man and Arm Fall Off Boy, like the most random comic book. Like anyone could die.
Rejects. Like
They
all the
can-
rejects.
They like the only one who like the only like name character that's like important in the show is Harley Quinn. Everybody else is
I think-
expendable.
Boomerang, is that his name?
Captain Boomerang is a fucking joke in the comic books. Okay. The only
But he's
reason
in
he's
the
around is
movie.
because Jai Courtney is great. I love Jai Courtney. He's in bad movies, but he's always good.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, who are the new actors? Wasn't Bill Skarsgård in one of the superheroes?
I don't think so. Is
I thought he was in Deadpool 2, right?
He is in Deadpool too. He's that acid reflux guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. John Cena is in it.
John
That's who it is.
He
I
is.
saw like famous faces.
He's Peacemaker, who is like, he's like, I'm trying to think. Like, in D&D terms, he's like lawful good to the ultimate extreme. Like, he will kill everyone on the earth if it means peace. Like, that's his whole motivation and goal. And he looks ridiculous, and he has a stupidly big gun, and it's John Cena, and I'm excited.
That's
Oh, yeah.
Sylvester Stallone voices King Shark, who is he's kind of become a bigger character in recent years because he was in an animated TV series, but he just eats people. He's not a complicated character.
That's fair.
I love that Sylvester.
Yeah.
Great. What do we think about the Harley Quinn Birds of Prey movie?
I never saw it.
I didn't see it either.
It's all right.
Neither.
It's, as a girl, I can say this. It's a little bit too much girl power. I will say that. But Aaron McGregor's the bad guy, and he does a great job.
Do you mean Ewan McGregor?
I don't know how to say it.
It's not Aaron. There's no R in there.
I said Erwin or Ewan. I don't know. I don't know.
No, but yeah, he's Black Mask in it, I think, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does a really good job.
Yeah, all the reviews I saw said that he was great. I don't know much about the movie overall.
Yeah, like Margot was great, and she has a pet hyena named Bruce. I love that.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the fight scene, they're all in rollerblades and they're going through this fun house. I don't know.
Huh.
Yeah, around that time I wasn't really watching DC properties.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just wanted to do better things with my time, I guess. I don't know.
That's fair. I'm not like as into DC as I am with Marvel. Like I know like everything about Marvel, but I don't know like
Oh yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
about DC.
I follow along with it just because like I'm in the industry and I should care. But like, I mean, Wonder Woman was good, but it's just a not as good Captain America 1. So like, I don't know.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a more Marvel than anything.
Has anyone seen the Snyder Cut yet?
No.
I don't have what 3 or 4 hours.
It's
to
4 hours
spare.
long. It's a full 4 hours. Which, like, hey, that's
That's
his creative
very
vision.
long.
That was what he wanted to do with it. But I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I heard good things.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about it, and I'm just like, I doubt it. I doubt it's good enough for 4 hours worth of my time. Sorry.
Yeah, that's a big part of my day I have to like carve out.
Yeah. It's like, remember when The Irishman came out on Netflix?
Still
Yeah.
never saw that.
And
I've
it
never
was like 3.5 hours long, and everyone was like, "Yeah, I watched it over the weekend." And I'm like, "That's one movie. It shouldn't take you the whole weekend to watch a movie."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of about me in movies. Like I have to be in one sitting. I can't like take breaks. I can't. It has to be one full sitting. Just while eating my popcorn and minding my own business.
Yeah.
Oh, I have
Yeah,
to have
otherwise-
snacks or something, or I can't. Like I can't.
Yeah, otherwise I
sit
forget. If I like pick up, I have to finish
Facts,
a movie
facts.
before I do anything else.
Yeah. I zone out easy enough to begin with. If you give me like a 12-hour period between, nah, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Who's everyone's favorite superhero?
Oh.
I'll go. So my favorite comic book ever is The Runaways, which is like a super niche, like low key comic book about teenage superheroes in LA. It's very, I don't want to get into it. One of the characters' name is Molly Hayes. She's a mutant with super strength, but she's just a 12-year-old girl and she's just a badass, and I love her character.
Ooh.
They did adapt Runaways into a Hulu show, but they changed the name of the characters and a lot of the backstories. So,
Okay.
and then in a close second place is Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl's pretty dope.
Squirrel Girl is pretty
Yeah.
dope. I feel like that's about all I have to say about it. Yeah, yeah. Anybody else?
Um,
I'm
think-
basic in Spider-Man's mind, but I also love
Thor.
Iron Man.
I feel like Thor or Deadpool.
Mm.
Deadpool for like the comedics and his like be able to like regenerate so quickly.
hmm
Like I love in the movies where like he get his legs cut off or like his hand and it's just like little baby hands or like baby legs. And Thor because Chris Hemsworth is hot and because it's a Norse god. You can't really beat a Norse god who can control lightning.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So Thor in the movies is probably the biggest departure from Thor in the comics, because Thor in the comics has like a secret identity, and like, yeah, he's just like a
Oh.
dude who is also Thor, and yeah, it's when the movies started coming out, they changed his backstory in the comics to be more like the movies, but yeah, Thor in the comics like back in the day was like the weirdest thing ever, and they just decided not to do that.
And I love Wanda.
Mm.
Mm.
We can talk about WandaVision in a second. What about you guys? What are your guys' superheroes?
My favorite's Black Panther for sure. Like even in high school, I just wrote like we had like a whole entire like in my college comp class, we had like a whole entire section regarding just watching the movie and like just analyzing it through like our critique. And I just love the way like Chadwick Boseman's like character, just the way he like led the nation of Wakanda. Like it was so dope. And yeah, rest in peace.
Mhm.
He was
Yeah.
a real one.
When I rewatched it, I started like crying because I was like, "Shit, he's gone."
Oh,
Yeah, I had
haven't-
no idea. I had no idea he had cancer. Like
He kept it
During
such
production.
a
Yeah.
secret.
I
he
do
kept it
think-
secret. I mean,
I
to his
think-
family, his family knew.
Yeah.
I hope so, but
Yeah, I think Disney knew because they weren't going to recast. They weren't going to do another one starring him. They were
Yeah.
already planning to reboot the character. So I think they knew.
Yeah,
Um,
because I feel like you have to disclose that to this
Your
huge
boss.
company you're working for.
like yeah,
You should have
hey,
like multi-year contract and everything.
yeah. Hey, do you want
Yeah.
to make moves 10 years? And he has to be like, I don't know if I'll be able to. But I don't
Yeah.
want to talk about that stuff for very long. That's not fun. Rosie,
Yeah.
what's your favorite superhero?
I think it's more based on the comics than it is the movie because I didn't really enjoy the movie. But Green Lantern.
Yeah, the movie.
You
that
didn't really
movie is
enjoy the movie.
garbage.
It's a very understatement.
Oh man.
No, I saw it on HBO. I feel like I should give Green Lantern a watch just so I can hate it as much as everyone else.
But you
Don't.
know, comics, I enjoy that story.
Mhm. Yeah, watch anything else. Just watch
Hey,
anything
Ryan
else.
Reynolds, you know.
Yeah,
I don't even
Ryan
think he's
Reynolds,
seen
and that's about all it's got going for it. So, just do something else. You're gonna go for a walk, read a book. Don't watch Green Lantern. That's not a.
Apply for a job. Don't do
If
Green
you want to
Lantern.
see a good portrayal of Green Lantern, watch like Justice League Unlimited or something like that. Like
Okay.
there's much better media available than that. Which segues into what I've been doing recently, which is I've been trying to watch all of the DC animated universe. So like I haven't been a big fan of their live action stuff. So I like the characters. I love Batman, and I've been trying to get into like just find some good representation of the medium. And I've been watching Batman the animated series, and it's been really really entertaining.
I heard all like the DC animated shows are like the best.
I grew up on Young Justice and Teen Titans and stuff like that.
Teen Titans
Teen
was
Titans.
my fave.
Oh, I love Teen Titans.
That was such a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they ruined with Teen Titans Go.
Yeah, they just made it. They just made a kids show. Like it's
Teen Titans Go was kind of funny though.
they
Some of the
just
episodes I've seen.
yeah, it's just made for somebody else. It's not made
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
And Teen Titans, like the original show, was like that was made for like 18-year-old people. I don't think it was made for like kids at all because the topics they go over are way too like deep, like trauma and abuse and racism. Like that show was not made for kids. Same with Young Justice. Like the last season of Young Justice has like several trans characters and like they go hard on terms of representation and all kinds of different things. So yeah.
Nice.
I did see the Teen Titans Go to the movies in theaters like a few years ago. I'm not saying it was a good movie. It was like barely an hour, and that includes this like 7 or 8 minute short at the beginning. But it might have been one of the most entertaining theater experiences I've ever had.
Yeah. Is
Alright.
that the one where they like where the Teen Titan Go characters meet up with everybody else, or what am I wrong?
Who's everyone else?
All the other Teen Titan versions.
Yeah, isn't there a movie against Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go? Like they fight
Yeah,
each
Yeah,
they
other.
do.
And I think that's like the climax of the movie was
Yeah.
like they're fighting with like the OG.
Yeah, which is hilarious because it's all the same voice actors. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just them talking to themselves, which is beautiful.
My favorite part
Now,
was
Blaze.
they
no,
go
you
back in time. Well,
I was gonna say, did you happen to check the Rotten Tomatoes rating before you went in the theater?
oh no, I got it for free because I worked there, and we didn't even
Oh,
know it was
okay.
like a thing really. So we're just like Teen Titans Go. We're like, why not? Let's go see it because we all like knew about the show and everything, and we knew like a lot of people didn't like it. So we were like, yeah, we went in with no expectations. But
Gotcha.
there's a scene in it where they have to like go back in time and they like kill all the superheroes so that they never like happen in anything to try and like beat the bad guy. So they go back and they shoot Batman's parents in the alley. They like throw one of those plastic rings around Aquaman. And
I've seen that
Oh,
that
no.
clip where
It
they
was so
like come to a
funny.
screeching stop in front of the alleyway and Robin runs in and shoots his parents and then they hard cut away and I've never known what that was from, but I
It was
was like,
so good.
this show isn't that bad after all. If it's got
It
jokes
is.
like that in it.
It was so funny.
Oh. Loki is coming out.
Oh, I saw the trailer.
It is coming out.
It
I'm
looks
very excited.
dope.
It looks so sick. I'm so excited. I love when Marvel does weird shit. I mean, that's why I like
Yes.
Guardians so much, and that's why I liked WandaVision.
And like
Um,
Thor Ragnarok, it's also
yeah.
like kind of weird.
Like Marvel, that's what Marvel does really well, is they have just the weirdest shit.
Mhm.
Like some of the stuff that they have in the comics, like it's nonsense, but it's beautiful, and they need to just embrace that side of themselves. And I'm glad they're starting to do that to a certain
Oh,
degree.
yeah.
Yeah. Like they have the normal movies for like just the regular watchers like Iron Man or Hulk or like
Yeah.
Thor. And then they have like Doctor Strange for like the real deep thinkers.
Yeah. I mean, Captain America 1 is just a war movie. And
Yeah.
then Winter Soldier is just a spy movie. Like
Yeah.
they have almost nothing to do with superheroing in the traditional sense. And I
Like
love
no one
those
has
movies.
a superpower almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another like weird one, I guess, like that they took a risk on, but like Into the Spider-Verse, I think is one of just the best movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie's amazing.
Just
It's
everything.
beautifully made.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I love the art style.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, have you heard much about the next Spider-Man movie?
Like
Isn't-
the MCU Spider-Man 3.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's
What's
going to be
it called? Like No Home?
No Way Home.
No Way Home.
I think that's what it's called. I saw something like that online. I don't know. But it's going to have Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in it,
And the original
Really?
Doc Ock.
and the original Doc Ock and the Electro from Ultimate Spider-Man.
Mhm.
Really?
They're doing a multiverse Spider-Man thing.
I love that.
Which I am so excited for.
What's
'cause
everyone's
that's-
favorite Spider-Man?
Movie.
The original.
Like the actors.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
Tom
actors. Yeah, Holland.
Yeah, Tom Holland. So Tobey Maguire is a great Peter Parker and a terrible Spider-Man. Like, he is the most awkward dude ever. And then Andrew Garfield is way too cool as Peter Parker, but he's great as Spider-Man. And then Tom
Yeah.
Holland is just the perfect mixture of the two.
I would
Oh,
agree.
that's exactly.
So
I would agree.
they nailed the casting, and now Tom Holland is doing like really dark, gritty American like
Yeah.
movies about religion and faith, and I'm like, you're British. What are you doing?
It is weird.
Yeah, I always thought like Tobey Maguire always seemed too old for the role.
Yeah, he looks like he's 30 years old in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
And
seen.
Andrew still looked old. He looked like a college student.
Yeah, no. Like, I feel like it's in the first movie. There's a scene where they're at like the lab when Peter gets bitten by the spider, and there's all the kids, and then the teacher and people, and there's always posting online like, if you haven't seen Spider-Man, which one of these people is the teacher of the class? Because they're all over 40 years old, and it's great.
Oh,
Yeah, and it was made in like the 90s, so it's like that classic 90s feel and look.
Yeah, but they're beautiful movies though. They're great. They're
One of my
campy as hell
favorite,
and great.
like scenes in any Superman or not Superman superhero movie is like in the second one with Doc Ock, where he's in like the the surgery room or something, and he just starts going crazy and like kills all the surgeons. It's just so
Yeah.
like it's
So-
horrible.
That scene's great because the director of the original Spider-Man trilogy, Sam Raimi, is a horror guy. Like, he does horror movies.
Oh,
That's his whole MO. And so he got in Spider-Man 2, he got to do a horror scene, and so it's incredible for no reason because Sam Raimi's
Mhm.
great at that.
he got to sneak that in just a little bit.
But legitimately, I think the best scene in all of superhero movies is the train scene in Spider-Man 2. When he stops the train.
Yeah, like, "Arr!"
I think that's the best scene in superhero movies.
Yeah, and then they carry him because he's
Yeah.
about to fall and they grab him. They lift him.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I think that scene, it perfectly encapsulates Spider-Man, and it perfectly it's the tone of those movies to a T, and you feel for everybody. It's great.
That's fair.
Yeah. Did you guys watch the Venom movie?
No,
I liked it.
I've heard people either fucking hated it or loved it.
I liked it a lot. Did we just lose Justin?
I think we
so.
did.
Oh no. But I saw it in high school. I really enjoyed it. Like, Venom is like this parasite thing. He's talking to, I forget the actor's name. But he's like just talking to him like, hey, this is like, we're partners now. Suck it up. And he's like, okay.
Yeah.
I
I
don't like.
wanted to rewatch it, but you have to buy it on YouTube, and that's the only place I found where to find it.
Ew.
Like, it's not anywhere else. It's not Netflix, Hulu, HBO, but you have to buy it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Huh.
So Venom is a really interesting movie because it's a Spider-Man movie that doesn't have Spider-Man in it.
Yeah.
It's a Sony property that's connected to the MCU technically. So like Sony can be like, Tom Holland, Spider-Man, be in our Venom movie, and he has to do it,
Hmm.
which is fascinating. But like it's just like it's this weird contract thing where if like Sony could like they almost did it a few years ago if you remember in 2018 I think Sony was demanding more money for the Spider-Man movies,
Yeah.
and they basically were like we'll take our ball and go home, and Marvel had to just give him a bunch of money to keep him around because they can just take on Tom Holland and make a completely separate Spider-Man universe if
Yeah.
they want to.
Hmm.
Which I never understood how Sony became the owner of Spider-Man, even
Okay.
though it's a Stan Lee creation.
I can tell
and
you
it's
exactly
super
how it
cool.
happened because it's fascinating and I
Okay.
know why. So
Okay,
in the
educate
early
us.
90s, Marvel was going out of business. Like Marvel was about to lose all their money, and they were going to so they just started selling the movie rights to all their properties. That's why we got a Blade movie all the Blade trilogy back in the 90s.
Blade is MCU.
Blade is a Marvel character. A new Blade movie just got announced for like 2025 or something like that for the MCU.
My mind is
Absolutely.
blown.
That's why we got a Blade movie. That's why we got the Punisher movies in the 90s. That's why we got Spider-Man. So they sold the rights to Blade for like $70,000. And they sold the rights to Spider-Man for like $2 million. Like they were just trying to stay afloat, and eventually Marvel got bought by Disney. Which is why we have those movies today. And so Marvel sold all their rights out. So Sony got Spider-Man and his related characters. 20th Century Fox got the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. And Universal Studios got the Hulk and Namor the Submariner.
Forgot they got them.
Namor in the comics is one of the most important characters in the comic books. And he's never made an appearance in the MCU because they don't own him.
Interesting. That is also why. That's also why, like, I haven't seen a Hulk movie.
Because they have the rights. Because Hulk is an Avenger, he can appear in Avengers movies.
Yeah.
But he cannot appear in a solo film because they don't own the rights to Hulk.
Interesting. Thank you for that.
It is incredibly
education.
interesting. But that's why Disney acquired 20th Century Fox recently, and that's why they now own the Fantastic Four and the X-Men movies.
Who owns Deadpool?
Fox did, so now Disney does.
Okay, nice.
I imagine they'll probably just keep Deadpool separate and keep him R-rated, which is fine.
Yeah.
Like
I love the Deadpool movie so much.
Like, have him interact every once in a while. Like, have him, like, stab an alternate dimension Thor or something in one of his movies.
Yeah.
That would be fine. But don't bring him into the Avengers because he will not be as good in an Avengers movie because he won't be able to swear. And that's going to suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
that'd be nice to see him in, isn't there a Doctor Strange multiverse movie coming?
So the next Doctor Strange movie is Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Yes, I'd love to, like, if he just had an encounter with Deadpool, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah. And then the next, what's it called? I'm dumb. The next Ant-Man movie is like the Quantumness or the Quantumverse. And they're going to be probably looking at the Micronauts, which I'm excited for.
I also know Kang the Conqueror's coming.
Kang the Conqueror's coming. Because they acquired Fox, they get all these what are traditionally considered X-Men villains, but they also are like classic Avengers villains as well.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
And supposedly Kang the Conqueror is supposed to be like the next big baddie.
He is supposed to appear in Loki. I think.
That's my guess.
I would hope so, because that's what he's a time traveler.
Exactly.
And that's a time travel movie. Also, who wants to take bets that Loki kills JFK? I got $20 that says he will, because that happens in every time travel story. They kill JFK.
That's fair. And they also tease like the DB Cooper thing.
I love that.
I love DB Cooper. The case of DB Cooper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would also love for alternate dimension Loki to run into time traveling Captain America at some point.
Oh,
that would be pretty cool because they're both
have a run-in with him.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Captain America is like married and has like some kids.
Yeah, I think that
like
would
he
be
just
sick.
stumbles upon him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, speaking of America, we have Falcon and Winter Soldier airing right now.
Yeah.
I haven't loved it so far. I've been kind of disappointed.
I've been waiting till more episodes come out.
I just want more stuff to happen, basically.
I'm waiting till mostly all of them are out, then I'm going to binge them.
Yeah. There's only 6 episodes, right? And they just released like the 4th?
I think so. Something like that.
I think.
Yeah, this week we're supposed to get a big cameo. They haven't said who yet, but that's what has been said.
Maybe I have to watch it before then, so I don't get spoiled.
I won't spoil anything. I know that the 3rd episode is my favorite so far. This last episode was a little bit disappointing, but I'm excited. Yeah.
I know, like...
that one guy.
I know the characters in it so far.
It's interesting because, like, Captain America doesn't have a lot of, like, classic villains. Like he
Mhm.
really has the Red Skull and Baron Zemo, and then the rest are kind of like one-note villains.
That's
Yeah.
Like the main villains of this show so far have been the Flag Smashers, who in the comics is one guy, Flag Smasher.
mhm.
Mm.
And he's just kind of like he's kind of a vaguely recurring villain. And like this version of Captain America in the comics is called U.S. Agent. So there's a bunch of different like they're really kind of stretching the Captain America lore for his solo stuff for Captain America stuff. This is a Falcon and Winter Soldier show, obviously, but
Yeah.
it's in the Captain America bubble. I would say.
Oh yeah,
I think that's
Yeah.
a fair assessment. Like
it's totally fair.
even more so than like Civil War. Civil War was an Avengers movie that didn't have Avengers in the title.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now that you've mentioned that, yes.
It had
like,
literally all the Avengers in it except for Hulk.
like I said, Captain America,
Thor.
Civil War, and it's barely about Captain America.
Winter
it's
Soldier is the
Thor,
main
it's
character of
Bucky.
that. So, yeah,
Yeah.
It's also like nothing like Civil War in the comics.
Civil War in the comics and Civil War in the movie are completely different stories.
The Civil
Civil
War
War
comic
that-
is like the best-selling Marvel comic of all time.
Because it's incredible. Have you read it?
I love it. It's my favorite one.
Fucking insane. It's so Civil War in in Civil War in the movie we got like 10 or so superheroes punching each other in an airport. In the comics, it's a world war. Like
Ooh.
hundreds of thousands of people fight and die in a war.
Mhm.
And it's about whether or not heroes can have secret identities. Basically, that's a gross oversimplification, but that's basically what it's about.
Okay. Kind of like in The Incredibles.
Actually, yes. That's why I was kind of nervous about a Civil War movie when they first announced it, because I was like, they haven't introduced enough characters yet. Like, Civil War is like, outside of like the Infinity saga, is like the biggest event in Marvel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's kind of right up there with Secret Invasion in terms of like importance. So like for them to just do it this early, I was really surprised. Speaking of Secret Invasion, we're about to get a Secret Invasion movie or
True.
show. I think I don't even know. With
Yeah,
the
I don't.
Skrulls
I
and
think it's
stuff.
a series.
I think it is a series with the Skrulls. I'm just happy there's more stuff. We've been held off for a year because of COVID, so I'm excited to get more.
Speaking of held off for a year, Black Widow movie. I cannot wait to see it. I've been
Me
waiting
too.
for a year, it feels like. Forever.
I'm so pumped.
I've been waiting so long.
But I'm kind of mad that they killed her off and then they're like, all right, here's your movie now.
Mm.
Yeah, they're gonna bring her back.
How?
It's comic books.
In the multiverse of madness?
Only one character stays dead in comic books, and that's Uncle Ben. Every other character dies and gets reincarnated or revived or gets replaced by an alternate dimension version of themselves or is imitated
Tony
by a
could come back?
scroll. Every character comes back from the dead.
We could get Stark back?
Probably not
Oh.
Tony
I
Stark
hope they don't bring him back, and he's my favorite character. And I hope
because
they don't.
he's done. I think he is done.
His
with these
contract's up.
movies.
Probably.
Which is why we're getting 2 new Iron Man properties. We're getting
Ironheart. I'm
Ironheart,
excited for.
which is I'm so excited for that one.
Mhm.
And then Armor Wars, which is going to be about War Machine and Brody and all that stuff.
Ooh.
Which I'm excited for both of those things. Yeah,
Oh, I just want Gamora back. I want Gamora and Black Widow back. Please.
yeah. Speaking of Guardians stuff, though, I'm so excited for the
For the new
Guardians Christmas special or the holiday.
There's
special.
a Christmas special.
They're making a holiday special as we speak.
Oh my god.
I think it's set to premiere around this Christmas. I'm pretty
I think
sure.
so too. Because
Oh my god.
what is it? The Spider-Man 3 that's out in like December, and I think the holiday special is either like before or after it, like a few days.
Yeah, and then the
I
next
see it
movie
now,
we get
like-
is Guardians 3, I think.
Like
Mhm.
Quill's trying to like decorate the ship and no one gets the like Earth tradition.
I think that's how they'll get Thor off of the ship for his solo movie. Like,
Hmm.
because he left with them. I think this one will have Thor in it.
Yeah, because he has a new movie coming up. Like,
Yeah,
Love
Love
and
and
Thunder.
Thunder. which is going to have
Christian Bale's in there.
Christian Bale as Gore the God Slayer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, who famously in the comics uses a symbiote like Venom as his weapon. So we might be introduced to the symbiotes via him, which would be cool as hell.
That would be sweet.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're doing some cool shit. I'm really
Yeah.
fucking excited.
Yeah, after Endgame, I'm like, oh, like they're done making movies. I'm kind of sad, and they're like, no, this is phase 1.
Yeah. That being said, if they had ended with Endgame, I would have been fine with it.
I
Just
feel
like-
that.
Yeah,
You've cemented
now
your legacy. You've done
I'm
it. Like,
super excited now for everything else.
yeah, but like, I think they've removed the pressure from
Mhm.
themselves. Because like, you can watch from Iron Man to Endgame, and you have a complete story,
Yeah,
and it's good. Like, the first 2 Thors are kind of meh.
Yeah.
And some people don't like Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I love Ant-Man the Wasp.
I think it's good, but some people don't like those movies as much.
It's not my favorite. Like, it's a good movie. It's
But,
just like
but,
compared
like-
to the others.
None of the mainline MCU movies would I consider to be below average. Like, I think the worst one is Hulk.
Yeah.
Which is like a 5 out of 10. Like, it's
Or
fine.
Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2 is kind of boring, but it's still good. Like, it's got
I
good
think
action
Thor
sets.
Dark World's still like my least favorite because it's
Yeah.
just boring.
Yeah, the worst ones are boring. Like, that's their biggest offense is that they're boring. Like, none of them are like aggressively bad.
Yeah, they're
You
not
know?
like, oh, that was awful. You're just like, yeah, I just sat
Like,
for 2.5 hours. It's
The-
alright.
Like, Batman v Superman sucks. Batman v Superman is a bad movie. Batman v Superman is worse than every Marvel movie.
Mhm.
So like, and that was like their like universe starter. So like, I would compare like BVS to like the first Avengers movie. Which, have you guys seen the first Avengers movie recently?
I watched it a few weeks ago. Me and my girlfriend are going through and like watching chronologically.
It isn't as good as I remember it being.
Yeah. It's
I
kind
think
of.
I think like comparing it to like Infinity War is just not fair.
That's
Just
fair.
like Infinity
Yeah.
War is so much better, like in terms of like execution.
I think the first half of Avengers is kind of slow,
Yeah,
but
Yeah,
after
that's
that, it's
true.
just like great.
I think that's because Joss Whedon was still part of the project, and
Mhm.
Joss Whedon is a very like, let's just make jokes for an hour and then we'll fight for an hour and then that'll be the movie, which worked in like 2012.
Yeah. And I feel like the movie Avengers, like the first Avengers, opened up like the Marvel universe to possibility of like space beings.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
stuff like
it's
that.
and like just the raw like ability of that movie to like handle so many superstars and big personalities and really main characters is really impressive.
Mhm.
Yeah. They're like, all right, we can do this. Like this was our test run. Let's make more.
Yeah. So we're running a little low on time, so we're gonna move on to some more niche stuff. So how many of you watched like the Marvel Netflix series?
I never did. I watched a few episodes of Agents of Shield. But
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't there Agent Carter and then Agents of Shield?
Okay, so up until 2019, Marvel was divided into 2 like different companies, for lack of like they didn't coordinate between the 2 very well. So there was Marvel and then Marvel TV, and Marvel TV handled their NBC series or CBS, whatever their like public broadcasting network channel that they run through is, and that was Agents of Shield, Agent Carter, and then eventually Inhumans, which is dog shit. Don't watch it. But Agent Carter and Agents of Shield are both pretty good. I watched a bunch of Agents of Shield until I got just confused and bored with it. And then I watched all of the Marvel Netflix shows. They're pretty good. I think they average out to like probably a 7 out of 10. Like
I heard Daredevil was really good.
all 3 seasons of Daredevil are good. The first season of Jessica Jones is probably my favorite live action series ever.
Okay.
Season 2
I've never
sucks.
seen any of them.
I would go watch season 1 of Jessica Jones. It's just
Okay.
good. And then the first season of Luke Cage is good. The second season is okay. Iron Fist kind of sucks, and Defenders is meh. But I really enjoyed like the Punisher, and like they just had like a really good like they're more down to earth stories, and I really enjoyed them.
I hope they
Isn't-
all make like an appearance in the future.
They're gonna recast pretty much everybody. I think
Everyone.
I would bet because the guy who's playing Blade in the future Blade movie was the villain of the first season of Luke Cage, which to me says those are no longer canon. We're moving on to something else.
Yeah,
Sorry,
isn't Green Arrow DC?
Yeah.
My friend Caroline loved Green Arrow. She told me I should watch it.
I watched it forever ago. It's okay. The first season's really good.
Okay.
The DC TV the CW shows have like really strong like cult followings. Like people love Flash. People love Supergirl. I've never seen an episode of Supergirl. But yeah, they exist.
That's fair.
Yeah, isn't Smallville?
That's old. Smallville.
Yeah. I was about to say, isn't that wasn't it they're young, they're like teenagers, like Batman and Superman or something like that?
Yeah, so Smallville, I've never seen an episode of it, but I've seen people talk about it. It ran for 10 years. It's a long-running show. Yeah. Basically, it follows Clark Kent from when he's a kid in Kansas until he's like a young reporter in wherever he lives.
Okay.
My brain wants to say Metro City, and that's not what it is. Metropolis. Metro City is the setting of Megamind. These are not the same property. But yeah, and they include like there's like baby Aquaman and like little they're like 16-year-old versions of the characters. Yeah, I've never really seen much of the show itself.
Yeah, I've heard it a few times. I didn't know it was that old.
Yeah. Did you guys watch like Man of Steel and those things?
Sadly.
Man of Steel isn't bad. Man of Steel is fine.
Boring. It's fine. It's just fine.
Yeah. It's better than Superman Returns.
Yeah.
Superman Returns is a snooze fest. Let me tell you the plot of Lex Luthor, of the main villain of Superman Returns. His whole plan is he's going to blow up half of America and then raise a bunch of land out of the sea and then sell it as real estate.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
There was a team of writers that like they were paid millions of dollars, and this was their whole job. And they said, "There's so many stories about Superman and Lex Luthor fighting. There's so many different things we can do with this story. Let's make him a real estate shark."
It's like, all right, guys, you had 6 months. What's your plan? What's his motive?
What's your best bet?
this.
What's your number one idea? And
They're
that
like,
was
all right,
what
so
they
get
had.
this. He's a real estate shark. And
Oh.
Superman doesn't like it. He's like, perfect. Let's get going.
That's one of those from that like comic strip that's like, quick, we need new ideas for Superman. He can be a real estate agent. He can
Perfect.
fight a blonde version of himself. And then that last guy's like, why don't we take something from the comics? And then it gets thrown out the window.
Yeah. From the old iFunny days.
I still think one of the worst castings of all time is Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor.
I
I don't know who allowed that, and I like Jesse Eisenberg.
Me too, but he's not Lex Luthor.
It's like,
He's just not
is
that
this
guy.
allowed?
Who let this happen?
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I saw Justice League. Waste of my time.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Wonder Woman. Didn't even finish it.
It's fine. People
Yeah.
love it because it's the good DC movie.
It is. It's the
Yeah.
best.
But it's just a worse version of the first Avenger.
Yeah.
It's just the worst. It just has a less satisfying climax than that. Like I don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then people love Shazam.
Oh, I like Shazam.
I fucking
Yeah,
hated
I
Shazam. I couldn't
saw
get through
that.
it.
Really?
It looks weird.
I hated it. I didn't laugh one time. I thought it was boring and bad. I don't.
Oh man.
That's just me. Um,
I forgot about Shazam until you said that.
I think
But, like, I
everyone
enjoyed
forgot
it.
about Shazam.
Yeah.
I saw Aquaman, and that movie is like, remember the? Oh, we have to talk about this. Batman and Robin with George Clooney. Like
Mhm.
it's so bad it's good. That was Aquaman.
That's fair.
It's so dumb. You're like, fuck it. We're just having
I
a
was
good time.
entertained.
I was just entertained for an hour. I just shut off my brain and watched a man
Mhm.
fight some fish. That's what we did.
Lovely.
Octopus
Yeah.
on the drums.
Khal Drogo deserves better.
Yeah. No, but we should spend some time talking about Batman and Robin. Who's seen it?
A long time ago.
Darby?
Never seen it. I just watched the original Batman movies, like The Dark Knight Rises and the other
Those aren't
two.
the original. Those are new. Those are the new ones. Batman '89 with like Michael Keaton, and then Batman Returns. And then what's the third one called? I don't remember.
Dark Knight Rises.
I don't remember.
No. And then the fourth one is called Batman and Robin. And that's where we get like the terms like bat nipples and bat card, and
Bat nipples.
the suits have nipples on them.
Oh
Mm.
no.
Yeah.
Oh
George
no.
Clooney puts on a Batman costume that has like artificial nipples and like a form-fitting like ass like pants.
Ass cupping pants.
Yes. Arnold Schwarzenegger stars as Mr. Freeze, and he is a Austrian Olympic neurosurgeon or something like that. And his wife has
Amazing.
cancer, and he runs around and just spouts horrible catchphrases like my favorite one: "What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age," which it didn't. The Ice Age did not kill the dinosaurs at all. I watched it and I was like, Arnie, dude, go make another Terminator. Get out of here. This isn't your wheelhouse, mate. Not
Oh,
your
no.
place to slay. And then Uma Thurman plays Poison Ivy.
Oh.
I love Uma Thurman. She's garbage in this movie. Just bad. Like she tries to be like femme fatale, but she's just bad. She just isn't good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then George Clooney talks like this whenever he's on screen. He moves his head constantly for some reason, and it's just distracting and bad. And it's beautiful. It's a masterpiece.
It's so bad it's good.
It is the epitome of so bad it's good. It is the worst. I think if you like looked at it like critically, it's probably the worst movie ever made. Like just like in terms of what's in it. It's unwatchable, but it's great.
Love
So-
that.
If you got 2 hours, go watch Batman and Robin. Cuz it's
Alright.
perfect. It's the perfect movie.
Nice. Yeah, I saw the Christian Bale ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are just good.
They weren't bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Dark Knight's-
the Joker quotes I've heard my entire life, I finally got to see in the movie. I was like, hey, I know that quote.
Hey, that one was a meme a while ago. I
Yeah,
remember
like
that.
pens will disappear. I get it. I saw it on The Office. Oh my god.
The Dark Knight is incredible.
It's a really, really good movie. And then Batman Begins is good, and then Dark Knight Rises is a little bit meh. Like
Is that the
its-
Bane one?
Yeah, it has its high points and its low points.
Yes.
Um,
Like the
You
plot
can't
twist.
understand him half the time.
yeah, and then
Yeah, I
way
had to put on subtitles.
the way he gets killed at the end is the most anticlimactic, dumbest. Catwoman just runs him over with a motorcycle. Like they're getting ready to have a final showdown, and then he just gets run over. and I'm just
He's
like,
nope.
they don't even show his dead body. Like
Mhm.
Anne Hathaway just runs him over and says, "Get on, Batman," and then drives away, and you're like,
Like, all right, cool. We'll go
what was
with
the
it.
narrative arc there? What was the character growth? I'm so confused.
Oh,
Yeah. But yeah, they were good. My boyfriend made me watch them. I was like, all right, these are nice. Now I've watched them. Cool.
Yeah, they kind of have a reputation of like people who pretend to be film snobs love them because they're just like really high intense action and they're Batman and they're good.
Yeah.
So like people who are like, "Oh, I love films and The Dark Knight is the best movie ever made." And I'm just like, "It isn't. It's good,
Yeah.
but it isn't." Like, have you heard Christian Bale talk in those movies? That's not good. That could have been something
That's
else.
not good. It's like hating Christensen at Attack of the Clones. No, it was Clone Wars or whatever. I don't like sand.
Oh yeah, no.
Boys.
No.
They get everywhere.
But Christian Bale, like, he's fine. Like, he does the job, and he knows how to fight, unlike like Michael Keaton does back in those movies. Michael Keaton's just like, but the have you ever seen the original Batman the TV show, like from the '60s? Oh, that's
No.
great. Those are great.
that is great.
They're campy fun. Like if you like the Spider-Man movies from the 2000s, go watch the Batman TV show, because Adam West just has a good time and it's just good. It's just
Nice.
fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, on that note,
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I think we're about out of
We're
time.
reaching our hour mark. So thank you guys for listening and watching. If you have any suggestions what we should talk about next, leave the comment below. Make sure you like and share, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
see ya.